Tlachanach X'éig sa tíní, Johan. Ach daqaqaqu ach tu X'éig. Ja, ag Juan hasta ane Kayaaní. Gilchis Jack Yihiti Gaya hasi X'éig. Wasa itilla an, wasa qanach X'éig. Shtakat Johan wutusaku. Tlallasa ayach uti. Wujin yejidunei. Anawe X'éig kakachtu Aqa awe. Yechwaji. Yekachtu tlaqi. Ya yegi. Princeton X'éig yeti. Khatu techwasa kukusa. Ya Newark adechwa dekin. Aqa awe adechwa kuch. Ya atlein dana gwal hastu qaltu yeti. Atjawe we limo atwadu zakuchu achji ye wutien yat utat. Ya ach.
Yeah.
Saewe kawtushixít. Ho! Tachike. Tlidzircha hade kuchatini. Gau it kunach tatke we yendakinyak wutlich. Aka Tltekat yegir anach aya kuchatin. Ya yegir hoa kase at dakahiti. Echasaku asakachtu sa museum. At chasatin hoa. Wan chanin zachtu yanik. Atlein aha ayi. Hajitch wudu watau. Atjawe quneyuch au tutla at hastu inyuch achtetana tu wasaku. Chush qinach achtetani. Atjawe choya achlil kohas yak has yati. Jachwakshiyik yak. Ye away yatayach achtetan. Gilchish wuchin chisati yak. Choya achlil kohasa chasatin yak. Ishan away ohan koa. Ya hashil kohas. Cook 2 days has yati. Wasa hatu wasagu. Hatlatki kak aya atasbu aati. Yewe gwall hashil kohas has tu jit chawe. Wudu watau. Ya atlein aha ayi. Ya yidat koa has tu dachkankiyan. Neildegach tu shaa. Yewe hatu wasagu. Gwallwtu sitini awe haayi X'éig llacht sheishuch seid dasa awe utu sitin haayi. Dana achtu asagu hajide gach yiti. Yisat gach tulle yech. Ya at kachag utsati. Kai guchletu a de kachag ye a de kasne ye we kasne tsati. Yis at awe we museum tu degachtu. Ha ayi neil degachtu shaa. Yewe achtu wasagu. Choya kuchte keina sach ya hastu yukatangi. Kleide aya chkud. Aye hawutien deishu. A and B hal yig. A klein lukach adi aye awe. Stekat yech awe. Yan mutusane. Kechne awe wutahan. Tuasagu a dat yuch eutatani. Aye wutiensu. Kingisti. Du yi daya yecha. X'éig Kegurlakudzi. Yechwajien yaltekat wesh galnikaya. Ha ideka kwashanika ha at uda. Taik wudahan. Wudahan away. Choya qach tunach yuch ewatan. Yewa choya. Ja, llys go has y tîn, ja hat o tŵnach. Jesu awe, ach hasqin, ha un. Wasa hastu ja chat wille tisch. Joe ja ki ach tu je ha aich was y tîn, ja ha anikach. Je awe, chonach oe, stych te nuke. A joe ja ki ach tu as y gŵn. Llingit chinach, tush chinach eich ach de tani. Ja ha aitin. Ach tu je cho gwallt gach tu dlach. E idcha, bwy curid e ach tu as y gŵn, just neil de a ja. Neil de ieis yn ni, ja, lle cadi ai. A joe ja gaia je jach yn ni. Ie awe, gwallt cat a museum chudzeti. A tlein awe ha ai a yig. Denver, Portland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Tell has to aich usti. Chosatin we kutia. A cook a we kaudu a chaku. We gundu tlochu. Has to inkachunik su. I aich she. Ach tu asaku. Chanski snigi. Eshka snigi dat. Ach tu asaku. One keyi shi. We a shi a dat. Tlekwashi e chudzeti. Yashkashnik. Ye awechoach deslin weshkashnik. Ye awechoach tlawak dach weqach de shi. Qich awe tleka tlenach ayan wat. Qa naq ha I autlatu tlekwashi. Wasa do yaku sledlanki. Hey, hey, hey. Do yaku sledlanki. Hey, hey, hey. Chayak qanu. Hey, chayak qanu. Ye awe. Khatayach khwashi. We kutia ade. Hast du inkachonig. Utusatin aya ha at u. Tel just chadasa aya. Eka khatutsini at. Tusha gay at the way at we tashach toashku yaketi. Gwell yisat gartutle yecha. Wush de seik and yegartusane. Utusaku. Ark. Atlain skoon plain. Ka museums. Hastu tu o dach a tlein ha ai ha ani dachas wudu o tau. A chawe ach tu asaku dana hajita zawati. Wa at kachagu t'ate. Kasne t'ate. De qeis t'ate. Ye awa gwalye gwati. Ka ach tu asaku ye achi. Ach tu asaku cho achi wasa yi tu wuch ya yidat. Aka awe ya it yiur atangi. Da saka yishit ach tu asaku tsucho achi. Gil chish ach edisa achi.
Could you away? Chia gunu.
Ye awe. He awe awa tlek. Tokaneach. Witlok. Usk. Shagaz khoa. Would tusaku. Ye dachte sego at hastu khusti. Tlech shugo awe lingit khusti. Wuj tu wanch. Tlech shugo khoa. Wan qanins qa. Kayaaní wugud. Hastu khusti tu. Hoods. Khat. Yew tuach. Qellaiach utiqa. Ukhke uti aya hasu qusti.
Gonna teach you Kayaaní. Adayi to Kayaaní that how you Kayaaní could be Yejichani ya that teaching practicum yesawa Konachwe to we Yejichani Wanganins Achi did the shit. Sadayaka Yetke. You has to gym, has to our rules in, do has to was to go at car. I just want to in Sachi did the shit. Has to die a car. Let's Hashid Kakas art. Konachwe ha eat the shit ha eat at the shit news. Kayaaní can ade the yat gating with two just the cut at eat out at the sheen shower. Wanganins shidzi kuste with shika hashit has khawus. Hi, did the share. I got away to Kayaaní. Gonna cheese.
Cheese. Chuya. You. Ati yetki oe ohan. Jaan oe got kataya to clean.
Yeah. Sheen kana she achune yes.
Yeah.
We yatki achi yes bush in kana she achune.
Kechawe.
We clock on school 2 year quasatine achi ya ke yuxitini yagi. Ya ke yuxitini yagi. Ya ke yuxitini suye quasatine. Ya ke yuxitini yagi. Suye quasatine yatke. Clock on skundaka hidi.
We hayukatangi kutti. Shukwa ai yakdat ke wutien. Yaktu yenik telkuste hidat. Ya yuko has a cow at the couch she. We take wasagach sa. Ya wush tutr duliech at she. Lingit chatsati. Ach shagun. Ya nach kutsati. Ha lingit sati. Stukal tuut. Hard kwa good. Chukanyach away. A taskoutlets is. Yake Ya we ark kwansu. Katlach Ginny, you do a sock way on. Katlach Ginny. Guksa we ha you katangi kudi. Ya katlach. Shatlach. Ya da at katle. Ya awe. Ya an kasaku.
Let's cool and gonna cheese.
Kwanlane wasa?
Nit la toka hwa achwe kakatlat sayi gonna cheese ye I janeye we na tlelt ganeye yetki tin gunnal cheese we kakatlat sai
Gonna cheese klein 8 hoe ik ego 8.
ويتكي تينيجني تتكي تينيجني قنيات تاتتو كيجلتساق جدخيا كيجلتسو داق جلتساق داق جلتساق قخ جلتساق يي جلتساق كي جلتساق جلتسو جلتساق يا أوا ويوسكي كندي إجن كباسا أوتي كي جلتساق هيك جا أدوسا أو سكو كي جلتساق خسكو يا هسكوتجي تخنخ Lling yw'ch y caeisig ach twas y gwch os y dyn i'ch ach o achi. Ac aqonig a ia ceic y gwch dy gan ia hatla gei. Gwellgi we. Yw'ch y caeisig Jin cat wwch itchioch y tank.
Yadukat
Ah,
gla kahakats eka kunst aktuasagu. Achwe aktuasagu kune ayakat kahas kakwa ka yak tak. Ka janu wush in yak ayuk sakayin. Awe has kakwa siu tak. Ka kajit ka tak. Ka steen ka at wududzi kuhu atak ka astak. Has kunak wuke atlen wuke ilatinge kuktak has kakwaha awe kahak kats ka kont aktuasagu gulchish kune ayakat.
Tush sachte achige. Gynnal cheese. Okay, cha. A dysa tu kawtushixít.
Gwallchad. Let me see here. Ystatin ge. Shukakawu pari jim du hidik ye khatyati we klagu on it. Atlenye jine pari klagu shagun ka atsaku. Aku ak we yisku u hastu al awul tu we klagu kusti dot sagwait shat itik chak tawu tsalki dasa. Achat shakuja we dech yak an tliyechi jiskudugutin. Jiskudugu yak tu tishi ka yeyati. Ach stugadeti du ye jeneye. Da kwashuk sayande gisati we washin yukakwawus. Khat yatlitin klakmas sakayuka. Cha ye kaka khwani yudaya kaka. Whichever.
Gynnal cheese.
Kawu Patty Jim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheat Woo, you had some hard words in there.
Just,
I didn't know them.
Kayaaní, Achit Wudishi. That.
Okay.
Click just that.
Okay, wait, that's a just a chuk your tangi. Just a chuk your tangi. You want a chuk your tangi. Okay, ha.
Cheesh.
You just it seems. Oh.
Is that you?
Yanga Yimunek? Ah. Oh. Chish Kwasaku. No, I don't know where it is.
You just it seems.
Okay, I had it.
Wait, Kate, achage.
I had it here. Oh.
Okay.
Good, geez.
Gwells tleganach yw'ch y gachilla a tleganach yw'ch y gachilla tan.
Is it showing you?
Gwell mute cairlid tleganach just tleganach. A glatsu. Good.
Stech kwat ka. Jedes het zien. Sneaky. Shawat khatsati deslink. Ja khat nawadi. Ach clark ach ish when the Sutherland Trading Post. Has ayahain. Ka chahas ayam sahih kawe post office too. Has ayam sahih. Cheat woo.
Oh, sorry.
Jou de hit.
Dag, yati gao kawe yehas jine kagwab kledushu gao ka ashu manka stakadushu gao hana sa nes has at.
Schoon idach ach ye jnei awe. We ne ye da jnei schoon ye jne. Ich ho na usku. Gedena sneeuwe hit. Kawik uns mont aswe ku nakasa I.
Dayan USE Nietzsche. We gin achtla man kas stu tuk yana in.
Slick talk, Jinkat Kanask, God Jinkat Kadakun, Hatsiti, Skundak Nils Wagut, Slech Ach Yejene Yedachane.
Agaga we kaye today you kayatangi cook we kashuk take cook kaadendach tlech kuste katlek medio iti dach duach.
Yakaway, I mute Sue. Gonk ach acht katushixít kaguna hit to art to the two atulka kut katusne kachadasa ye datune.
Owe Oktla du Kuku, Khatiu, forever amber you do a sock. 1944, Owe Kamdujixít.
Yayat I historical kusachan dot ku awe ka England ka away ye at uni 17th century tu
Shakligay Shawat Amber St. Clair, you do a sock. Kawe Anyadi Ka. Bruce Carlton, you do a sock. Let's do dot away.
Masa at Nanini, Kak Adawus ye, Khan Nik, Kutlagao, Kakahil.
tlach kunach du in ach tu kamflige we Bruce kusachan tu ye hat yati had do
Achlu wake uk khoye wuti kut khat wudzigit.
X'éig chun sa chatwu ikli ach tla sakwa achi shukwat.
Lidzi wait a kustuliech ta anika ach hogudi yet a shuguyach spoon speak kada usku usi ka atsi ani ka kuhugut.
We aga yagi ach ye jene ye hwasini kunt daka hwayech kastu ka kayan hwasiin ka iyit.
Tla chwanuk kada tiwit.
Uaya cha winnets away come the heat aga at hwasaniki.
Ah shaf sek we kunt ye dach kanakan.
Tlich ye adi kade kachwahit. We kwat kideen kachwus katsuk stuk kayan hwasiin ka eat.
Tsu Juanuk kada tiwut.
Snick snick dasawe.
Tlill tsuyi wuyat just minutes away shua here where King Charles hidi claimed that chat would do a hoot. They clean the with the X'éig how hit.
Sha yidat we a atus iye X'éig shamshit.
We ya nas egi tuch yach wuni kwat gant khwachich le tude kach kahad hede shuhli at sek gande ye nagatit.
We quat usati kachwa ak kachwa usti adach ku tlich yak with lak.
Achla yek du ich tada kwat llell tu uyach wuti.
Ach tla ye jene dach neil wugudi at usinik ka at amtliqin.
X'éig. Das ye da inean, you yawaka.
Masa yek kwaka
We ach kusachani wait uch niku. Tunach yen chasanech ge.
we ach kusachani wait uchnik tunach yen hasanech ge.
Oh, kunz kwat kade chachsigan.
Quat
Okay.
Quadet Coxagan. A shukwat adach coatlach. Dach de hin X'éig yagi kach.
Ollikat at kach shukwanach aye at yeti we yis shawat isati.
Yak at awe. We kusachani achtla yak tai. Aya u ka she geheni kunz atsa ka du tu chananach yati.
True. Ach tuasago chadatiu. A dach ko a itach tak. Ach jigayati ach tuuk edain dati.
Gwashe aye wakati yayat I gaunte tlachtidain chat budeshani shukwat.
Kiel achtoa ushko kunstach kach sagani zu. Utewe.
Oh, okay.
Kutsi away.
Kawtushixít.
Heishi ha eat wudishi.
Ah,
X'éig
yeah, away. Yeah, away.
Aktusagu readway forever amber.
Wake up, Sean. Jesu achjiu.
Okay. Claich amber city. Okay. She's playing. Zuckerge, Yejene.
Aktu skasnik screen share. Isatinge. X'éig Kayaaní disi. X'éig yagi 2022. Ciudad Gusitan. Sach X'éig kachat kachgasat du yahayi wutuat. Chas dachnachka. Ach ya natuat. Jas Lingi Yuchatangi. Yai X'éig Tuatin. Kune X'éig.
Kuwu.
Kuwu.
Kate ka douche X'éig.
Kuwu.
Chat Kayaaní ka keet. Kuwu. Ka tsatsi chak yel. Kuwu.
Kuwu. Kawtushixít. Such X'éig Ayausaka San Francisco Woodlitsu. Yandakin Yake. Let's go. Dasa Ayatin. Yes Ayatin. Ich Dakahidige. X'éig Dakahidi Tlenge. Daku Smokeries. Patsy Ann, you do sagan, Waked. Kashuk, you do a sock, Waka. Wanganins. Next Friday, X'éig Kayaaní Disi, Naskadushu Yagi 2022. Dechgao, Shkaginu Utua At. Singet Yuchatangi. This Friday at 2:00, if anybody wants to join us, we'll be in Qatak, North Douglas, and not the first rainforest trail, what some people call the rainforest trail, but the second rainforest trail. Dechgao, Kawtushixít.
Ik echa, Kawtushixít Tlaing. Okay. Jere achtuasaku atwatua aati ya hayukatangitin. Kanachoyak eh. Tsukaka.
I got, oh, Kashke. Kashke, you go ahead.
Okay, so Situk Duhidik Ye Yechet Yeti. Yeah, well. So she's turning her volume down or turning it off. Okay. Yegugink Skatnik Akchiwu Ach Datchan da. Okay. Pliadis Colorado Day Cook Quatin Ach Datchank Ach Si Ka Ach Say Hoch Has Quasitini. Tlinki Pla you do a sock Ach Datchan. Do say Aya Ach Tlak Irene Lampy say Sitian. Plate cock enough to say awa ember su. Akla Susan, you do sagun. Yadu akla. Ak datkan kudziti awa akhana kachat a ye ha wutian. Dech yagishu kat kiswas. Kudziti kunacha to wusi gu. Plate cock enough do kanach the best gift ever. Plate this shu hihi ayo hastu khande kukte kutu atin. De nach dis du katagu dat. Ach Huch, aya. Super grandpa. Chutle. Chutle. You do to a sigunut. Wedlego hagusa du ikha khashisa du to a sigunut. Hagusa. So. Ye yatika who gata at kashi. Kunach katlat sinich city tlak to sechan. Ega ayo kukde kukatin yakutank. Hoot. Gonna cheese. Yes, toot pla ka gunerti. Ach eat yedishi.
Okay. Jeez, ben Kayaaní. Okay.
We stashnigi. You daka aya ye haswutich. Kunach kusiat kusti you daka. Cha wuch kashlage smeda haska aksane nuch. Tlesh kakenda kahiri yati wegao. Yati ya family has to kakain shuya hich. Aya trenach yati aya we kakain dakahiri ga kuashi. Tesh yek wugudi aya yadu yina de adu shatk du iga kuashi. Tre hu ayatsu tesh yek wugud. Hado. Why is it echoing? Yek nagut aya ya kiki chaya nasgach aya dushat haska ya kunashin. Aya dak ya shahak kaha aya ausatini kakain dakahidi aya. Chutle ayu ausiku dushat tuwu yati awat shukudzi tsu 2 for 1 sale yidat. Uchawe.
Okay. Good cheese.
Very creative. Good cheese.
Okay. Good cheese.
Turning down my volume.
Go ahead. So mine is not as pretty as everybody else's.
I did another rendition of Sam I Am. I think you'll be okay.
Just so you know, this is thoughts for. Oh, can you hear me? This is thoughts I'm putting together for my speech for Central Council. So, bidzi away ya ganu ya nig claim. Kati latsin kaha ha nai singet ka de kina. Ye kautlegate ya natsti. Agawu ayatlatsini kashari hani
itinachia yati. Dana kaslachish I gedi. Lanach ganech yis. Which in ha kusti yukatangi katlasin. Which in yagak tutlat cha klek yakha yati. Klek a day yati. That's how far I got. Goodness cheese.
Fantastic. Quickly.
Clell a deit a tlenach ye unach tusene ye. Clell a deit a tlenach ye unach clell unach tusene ye.
Goodness cheese.
Chanach okay. Dacht de shi ytlaqi. Goodness cheese, Johan. Juan Lane.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
You can. Ligat yuch atunk. Jeremiah James way yach adugo ku atla tu a kes kachchanag yag. Wudichadak unyagi chasande tunach yach adugo a kes. Tunach. Yach shada at chadakes. Yek yande yachwad lakwe yach adugo shada at guna yede. First time. Achuch yande yachwad laktu we yach adugo sada taye. Yewa sada taye. Shugunach outlich watch we yach adugo tle. A shall kautli yen. My own language, guys. Tle a kai atsha. Tle a kawtushixít we. Sadataye a kai. And then I looked at this right here and it says yach a kai kawtushixít. Better. Aka awe we yach adugo a chash kunach eden. Hwe ahlakadak onyagi we de ha yahaye. Ach yit kachat ka achuch. Another one too. Can I do it? if I can find it. It's just a little one. It's one I wanted to share. I don't know if I shared it before. It might be this one. I'll see if it is. Oh, okay. It was the one that I did on a disagreement. Did I do this one, you guys? I don't think I did. I think I did. Is it on fry bread? Did I?
No.
Okay. Ikatsak named Victor Joseph du Tlach Akasi Akasi Nuch. Cooks fry bread. Ich katsak named Jesus Yachyati we Arlene Joseph K Akasi Nuch. Yistiku Yakewe Ich katsak named Ku Ik Yachyati. Like 100 ku awa ke jinjin kat ich kat sakunen uwa That was good. Gwalye Arlene Joseph ich kat sakunen awa hechwatin. Arlene ye yawaka just ke jinjin kat ich kat sakunen. Gachzi katlek 100 ko yadu kwasa ko wasa kwasane wushdach awa state we kejin jin kat ich kat saknen. Hey, good luck.
Cheese.
Cheese, guys. Cheese.
Good.
Wait, Thomas builds the fire. Ach, sanich satiqonach gunchish. Wukecha. Gunchish Johan at the kawtushixít yekonach oeke. Sturach at the tier dach. Ya. Ach tu yek Yende ya yentitlaqa ya ha yuqatangi. Ya haqinach aya qanakho ya kanadin. Ya awa wasa achtua ye utin. Stakatat qanach aya. Ya awa tukhwatang. Wasa ya gachtitlaq. Ya stakatuhan. Data tinach sahayati. Achuk qusakhan. Wujinye jine. Qawe qone ya yantitlaq. Gunchi shuhan. Gwallia yidat qoa. Wait, ik denie jagachtune. Just try egu geng. Aqaq khashi. Ya hastu yuqatangi teen. Da sa awe adat. Qone yuq awush atkin. Kliatke. Ya Achtawasagu tusaku. A day wush katu jaili ya ha yuqatangi. Ye na teach. Wait Aqa awe aqaq khwashian. Ajoe tatke khana. Tatke tat. Tlechwa ta. Jaye jachwane yijis. We yenda kinyak yikt. Yes, the cut way United States a kadache jachwane. What's take koya da high team ko. That what's that do so good. With Tammy Faye walk. Wuke koya da high. Jim Baker cut Tammy Faye Baker. Tashasushka. Wuke koya da high ko. You go one. Yat was a goo. At that age to nay. Ya that. Katleki. Cake a gurtagan. Wasaya koyids a gay. Yeah, to us a goo is a teeny. Koshat that in a hateti. Just ask a kutz a tea at the kach. Aka awe hasuyuk atangi. Tade aya. Ha kagachdu ak. Okay. So flash lesson. These should give you most things you need to make a habitual. So we're going to make a habit out of making habituals. So these are going to end with the CH. And yes, Shanak 8. I'll turn it over to you. I'll try and be fast with this. And then we could do some more on Monday.
I can wait.
Okay.
I'll wait till Monday.
Okay. So what these charts are set up to just sort of get us thinking about what goes into a verb, looking at it from left to right. And so the first box, well, this says like what are we talking about? Habitual. Always does, always is. That's really what we're sort of talking about, right? Always does it, always is that way, right? So a lot of times if you start something with chaklak, you gotta use one of these. Chaklak, habitual. Chaklak, habitual. So the first thing we're going to look at is the positive form of the habitual. You don't need anything in the preverb. That's why there's this long dash. Forget about it. No K, no yay. Don't worry about it. Unless it's part of the verb, like yay na teach, right? That's a different one. But the form itself, the mode, doesn't require anything special in the preverb. I was trying to think of how to mark this. So the conjugation prefix, yes, needs to be activated. Needs to be there. So now we've got them in categories. 0, na, ga, and qa. And the reason I put these into these categories is so we could just look down and see what goes on for those particular verbs. For the 0 conjugation prefix, so if you say kha, then you know that it's a 0. The command form, kha. If it's a 0, it must also have, well, I guess it's a perfective marker. Well, I think it's the irialis. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But it needs that in there. So that's where you're going to get the right at the beginning. But only if it's a 0. Na, ga, and qa only have the conjugation prefix. Na teach, ye na teach, ye na teach. Qanukch, get the hunch, right? So it must have the conjugation prefix in there, right? So you got to know which one it is, and then you're going to know how to put it together. If it's na, ga, or qa, doesn't need anything else. If it's 0, it's going to have that sound in there somewhere. Okay? The classifier has to be minus I. No other choice. No way to make it plus I. Always minus I. 0, da, sha, or wait, let's go through them. 0, da, sa, s, sha, sh, sha, sh. Those are your only options. You cannot have ya or in there. You can't have si. Can't have those in there. For the stem variation, this is where fading does come in. If it's got that little H, it has that little H, then you got to go down to this fading one. And what that means is the non-zeros will go low. They will be low. This is the whole reason we put that little H in there, for this purpose. So when you see T-A-A, little H, you're going to say natage. That means always sleeping. He's always sleeping. Opens that don't have the little H, the zeros will go long and high, followed by this Y. So that you can have something like ich, ooch. But if it's na, ga, or qa, it'll for the opens, it will be long and high. The double A will switch to an EI, so ta to teach. the OO will switch to a WEI. So if you're going to say woohoo, ade na huage, they always dog paddle over there. Okay. The closed ones are a little bit mysterious. I'll have to do a little more research. I do think the zeros are unpredictable. But the others, na, ka, and qa, should always be short and high. Those are all the same. Short and high, got it. They all will have a CH at the end. We will look at examples. But once you sort of figure out how to approximate this, and once you get a pretty good guess, just by, you got to kind of memorize this 0, na, ka, or ka. Then you got to look at the stem variation. But then you've got it. Then once you've got it, there's 2 more slides. The negative is easy once you've got the positive. Just remember, it changes the meaning to it hasn't become that way yet, or it hasn't done it that yet, or it hasn't happened yet, or they haven't done it yet, right? So hasn't yet. So same thing, like cha, I haven't eaten it yet. Okay? All the rules are exactly the same. Once you know the positive form, yena teach, it's that way. Teach. It hasn't gotten that way yet. All you have to do is put klesh in front of it. The rest stays exactly the same. Now, the next level up, and we will look at a bunch of examples, so don't worry if it doesn't make sense. We'll look at a bunch of it, and then it'll start to just sort of click, I think. You put ch in the front, and you put a relational suffix at the end, and now you've got before. So, for example, you'd say before it became that way, right? And before I ate it, right? Natej, before they went to sleep. Once you've got once you've got this habitual, you can do the other two. Like the ch and the relational suffix is a little tricky, but we were sort of talking about this on Monday, so I went and I found every single example I could, and the one who gave us the most, Seideya, Miss Elizabeth Nyman. Any questions before we look at the examples?
Why aren't you calling it perfective habitual?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I'm just trying to shortcut it a little bit.
Okay, you can't.
But the one thing with this is it can be interpreted as we used to do that. I've seen it used that way without having to change it. So, but yeah, good question. Any other questions?
We used to do it that way. Doesn't it usually have a in at the end?
Yeah. So you can add that. So you could say, Natajan, they used to always sleep. Right? So now it's used to always. Chochaijan, I used to always eat it. Ya idet qoa qone ya khatna tashan qnagu khana Kayaaní. Qachat hayatina khiyati guk Kayaaní. Used to always eat just meat and bread. Jadli khasakni na ya chochaijan. Ya idet qoa qnagu ikhat yawsaqa Kayaaní guk atina khiyati. I used to just eat meat and bread, but doctor said gotta eat vegetables now.
Yeah, so that N is kind of like you just don't do it anymore, but the CH is something that can still keep on happening, right?
Yeah, so nakuchjin. I used to always go, but that IN means, that's how you say used to always, but not anymore. So that's how you would sort of talk about things you used to do, or anyone used to do, but don't anymore.
And there is no special on the relational suffixes. There's no limit to what any rules about that.
It follows the same as it should be an I. I think sometimes it might be a U, but I'd have to look. I don't think it's gonna be a U, and I think it's always gonna be an I in this case. Anybody know otherwise? Okay. We'll look at some examples. So I found every single one. I grabbed every one I could find. So we're going to just read them, and then we're going to go through, and I'm going to pull the verb out with all, and I found everything that said before, because we were sort of focused on before. And then we're going to talk about how these things are working. So the first step is just going through, reading them. I'll go kind of fast so that we can get to the walkthrough. Atlunya yide ka khir kashukat yan kau de chak chul itanaiji shakayuk ayayide shudlechol sutad shak qadanug chal de achji hat kuch shu de hi shukwat de geich kwaska ashuk chul na tu atji kawush nu zi shukat t'ich tu de khose chul ye ak away de kheji awe kutzati an qashaku shukat Yake aye kako we islu ite ye yanach kekok aye kako islu kunna ashayadach chilkat tinji o atunach keu dekin khatko chil hayit kudak shulhaishi ayakuchti stekat at childa sagagi uhichi wishkach shikat qizati wa eskich ach shikat qizati wa eskich ach qizati ach shikat Achkani wa askich akhidzati akshakat. Raven was really getting defeated, so he kept saying the same phrase. That's why it's 3 times. Uhan hashka aya ya as. Aka ya gao shukwa ya shakle ye kwa tel akhasegutu. Chutle akhawo at kudahitji. Chayachashukakach ayaye kwati. Aka ayat ashatin. Kel achjicha usini. Akaye yawaka. Deki in kawu. Khaj ijideka kosa in ahin. Chutli niyet ji awe. Klayan uwe iwe khat klain. Chuyi niyet ji awe. Ha tuskoutli yich yis khartin. Ya yidat a day to tlakye. A day to tlakye ya yidat shukat. Ha in a day to tlakye. A iti ya nachdak kada awe. Klashye ya waka. We ye koa du tla gus shlaguk. You do a sagu at a tuch awe a kausha u. Guts shlaguk. Chaya shinget ane katkaki hu. Cha akade is a gachtu ach. Ya shinget ane. A katkaki hu. He's Canada, Shukatawe Kahut Uwagutwe Shingit. Ke Ishukata Nachgendikakwagud. Yis Ka Kagate Uwagut, Yis Gawu Ausatin. Chak Aya Chak. Chillingit ani datat tusakuji, yellingit ani kudzati. Chada sa tlell atchdush yechi, ye asnecht. Helljawo yati awe du tu wadach du chuch katu in ag, zu wushenach. Aga awe tlell udnachi, suk anashkidek. Usati wegao. Keshi wuyat kach satitsu. Shesh eat etangi away ash yausaka gudesawe. Away chilkina eji away klehinde ana atch. De tleshna le away jagachtu naki. Gachtu shayi de tleshna le. Yanshika awaye do a sock to chillet kayan ilgaschi. Achlik uch away chushye de kautlishi, kuncha kuwakan, chushya yita kautishi. Yelta katyachas outlishi yishe, a hook away dech a kudzati, kashets ukwa away. Away klesh a date ad nij ke kaudua shi ye gande unqa adiye. Gu akshel Dr. Chun has ayaw to nik hajir chul huji dach unat achji hashilk o has adik ayakaye. Ziyak away yuch atangyu de kakwatiyat at ashukat. Yat at ashukat away you de kakwati at the wekayinach ayachtan. Keslaweach to washku on yakande chokudi. We'll get to Mrs. Nyman on, because she's got a lot of them. So we're gonna skip her for now, but she'll be the master teacher when we get towards the end. But I want to show you how we're gonna start walking through these. So not all of these are habituals. When we were sort of doing that translation work, we were seeing like shukat and yayi, and I want to just sort of start going through the difference. And the big thing is if you're going to use shukat, that verb gets turned into a noun. So that you can use it on a verb, but you've got to convert that verb into a noun, which is something I don't fully understand. I can see that that's what's going on. And I will document some ways I think that it can be done.
Why would someone say shukakwan instead of shukatkwan?
Shuka. It's just a location thing. So you could say shukade, shukat, and shuka. Shuka would mean in front of, and shukat would mean it is located there, it has arrived there. So shukat for me sounds like it got there kind of recently.
Okay.
So this one does not have, like the construction that we're seeing here is yayi. And yayi is in wait for something. And it seems like it's being used to like get ready for something as well. So atun is a noun. It's a verb that's turned into a noun. Yayi de, like getting, yayi is to be waiting for something. Then yayi de would be probably in preparation for something. Ka achich, they fast on a regular basis. The verb root here is chi or che, just like to say to go camping or to let something, it's really for one day to pass. So that's why you'd say it's the 6th, kedushu yagi yawachi, 6 days have passed. And so when you say camping, you're going to go somewhere for a certain number of days. There is another one, I think an S classifier one, to say like I'm gonna put this on here for 2 days. And then so you would change the classifier to say you applied something and let it sit for that amount of time. The next one is, so shukat, when it's in front of a noun, verbed before that noun did. So in this case, ka shukat in front of people or ahead of them, yun cow de chuck. So the yun cow de chuck would be a single third person finished packing. So that's what the yun does before. Yun cow de chuck. They're done stacking, packing, whatever, putting the thing away. Ka shukat yun cow de chuck. They finished packing before everybody. So that's where the fourth person gets used like that. Ka shukat, before the people did. And these
How
ones.
come
Oh, go ahead.
How come you don't say shtakat ka shakat?
Yeah, that works. Yeah. So then you could say, because ka shakat yan cow de chuck finished before the people did. But if you say shtakat ka shakat yan cow de chuck, finished before everybody. So it's just putting, it would put a little more emphasis. What it would do in my mind, it would say, boy, there must have been a lot of people there. So now we get our first one. So to show, I guess I should do it like this. I forgot to do this. I like to do a perfective so that we can see it. They drank it. So we can see what this verb looks like, you know, audana, they drank it. And this is, it's good to know a little bit to sort of say, because sometimes we'll hear atwudana. And technically that means they drank alcohol. So someone the other day was talking to me about a kid. They said at-audana, but they kind of remembered the ut was there, and then they'd use the audana as well. So the ut can lock up the object spot, but then that means say at-kakwadana khana, I'm a drink tonight, and you're really talking about drinking alcohol, right? Which, you know, if that's what you do, go ahead. But just remember that's what you're going to say when you put the ut in front of this verb. Audana, they drank it. Edenaich. So this one we could tell it's a zero classifier because that Y pops up there. The other thing is it goes to E instead of I because there's the Irialis is in there. So I would also say Chwadenaich. It would require the Chwa sound. So you would say Chatech. Or sorry, you'd say Nachatech. I'm always sleeping. But you wouldn't have to say the chwa in there. Nachwatech. You don't need that. So then if I put tesh in front of it, we get you haven't drank it yet. So if I gave you like a little bit of medicine or whatever the thing is, ha! Tesh itenaich. What's up? What's up? You didn't drink it yet. So that's what the tesh does. It changes the meaning to haven't done the thing yet. Now we put chush in front of it, and then we put the suffix on the end. Chush itenaiji. Before you drink it, or before you drank it. It could work either way. Like I could be telling a story. Chush itenaiji. Iqwaqan hatli akate yersane. Tesh. Before you drank it, I put deer turds in it. You didn't see me do it, right? I saw someone do that once in Kayaaní. I never did that. I thought it was a mean trick to play. But it could also, in this case, it's a command. So in this case, it's saying, before you drink it, shake it up, like medicine or something. Shakayuk is shake it up.
So when I was doing the narrative on, he had a shake or adugu, like this, and shake it. So could you use that? Shukayuk.
I think this one might.
Shakayuk.
Let's look at the shaking. Because, yeah, we're going to get a few of these. Oops. help. I was looking up the burning brain. Hold on. Now that we're not burning brains up anymore. Oh, we're pretty close. So here's... So we have a general shaking of something. And so here we see shook my overcoat to remove dust. So the answer is yes. Because that's a cloth-like thing. So it'd be the similar, like you're trying to get when you cut it, I imagine you got to get all the extra hairs and stuff off of it. Is that what you're trying to do?
Plus, they were really dusty, and we had to soften them, and it was just dust, and so we're shaking dust off of it too.
There is down here with a large up and down movements, though. So if you're getting into like something, because this you could for like a smaller thing. If you had like a big old moose hide, it might have to slide down to this other one, which would be a kawtushixít. So if that's the case, so again, coming back to how we use this document, if it shows us a perfective and we see that it's short, a kawtushixít, that is a 0. So if it's a 0, the command should be kakik. K-A-K, high tone I-K. Kakik. Shakayuk. So it's right there. That's a command form. The 0 commands are short and high. So we got a short and high there, short and high there. And then, so you could say, then we should also be able to say, oh, well, then that should be, well, I don't know what the perfective, I don't know what the habituals would be for these. It might be yukch, might be yukch. Again, it's kind of unpredictable.
Polaroid yeti shakayuk.
Shakayuk Polaroid at yahayach. So the last one in here is another yayi day. So again, like this seems to be to yayi would be to wait for, to be in wait for something. Like especially like there's with the ya on the front of it, it has something to do with like you're waiting for something to happen before you take the action. So I gotta stand, I'm gonna scare you, or so I'm waiting behind the door, or I'm gonna go hunting and I'm waiting for something to emerge. I'm waiting for that halibut float to start bouncing around so I know I've got one, right? So this is, then yayi day seems to be in preparation for, because we see 2 examples of it here. And then here you have a yayi day shwit. That's to make oneself tremble or shake. So we'll do one more, and I'll add the perfective on here. I wanted to go through it, and then so I'll add the perfective so that we can say it was heard. So what do is it was heard, and that's what we have here, right? So in this case, you have sutat, with this being a time marker. So this is a time marker. Then we have wudua it was heard. Duach, it is always heard. Duach, it hasn't been heard yet. Before it is heard. So what this pattern shows us, well, I guess I don't know why there's not, there should be a Irialis in front of this, but let me check, I'll check on this one in a second. Because we have it might, maybe when that was written down, there might be a W hidden in there. Well, we'll see. But what this shows us, if we have chush, you can have other things before you get to the verb, including what you're hearing, right? Before they're walking around could be heard. And now let's go look at this verb, and then I'll see if there's any questions, and then we'll wrap it up for now. We'll come back to it. So I'm going to look for ach. And we'll just see. See, I would expect uach, which I don't know why. Tsutak shakhadanuk chyesh udaachji. I mean, that's what I would expect with this one, but there is this other. Let me check one more thing. So there is ach. So this ends with ach, which is to hear something. There is an ach, to be able to hear something. But this one is ga. So I would expect it to be, see, it says it does not occur.
I wonder if that do swallows that arealis, because if you look the negative here, negative imperfective there.
That could be, but I don't know why. But that's because you have well, let's go back up to here and see what happens. So it doesn't go wuduach, it's still there. Wuduach, it's there. But it's, maybe it does, because it's not there either. But also, okay, these ones are, I gotta do a little bit more research on this. Because you know what? These are all plus I. Then I thought they weren't supposed to be plus I. Okay. Back to the drawing board. But that's not duach either, is it? Duach. Oh, this language. Okay.
Can never get bored, that's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You'll never run out of things to not know. But you guys know so much. Like we did, there was probably 20 minutes of doing this stuff, and then the rest was all just sharing language. So, okay. Yeah, away a day again to talk here. Cheesh.
Yeah, quasatin se gunnan nicht gedacht.
Anything else before we go?
Goodness cheesh to all those who shared their sentences. Excellent.
Okay, we'll start with more sharing on Monday. Anyone who didn't get a chance to go today, we'll start with that on Monday. And safe travels to the crew that's traveling over to Sheet Day. We were talking today about having more language gatherings and what's going to be happening. So again, stay tuned. More to figure out on that. Yeah, away.
I can't do a study group this week, you guys. I have some exams to take for my maritime license renewal, but I can do it next week.
Goodness cheese.
Goodness cheesh.
Cheesh, Tiagan.
Ah.
Cheese.
Cheesh.
Goodness cheesh.
Echa.